Hey guys, what's up? So, I'm just going to go through something called the Skyscraper Method. So, the Skyscraper Method is something that we're going to use, and it's going to be a technique that we do to help us find posts on Pinterest and blog posts that are already established as being successful. So, the first question to ask is, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this Skyscraper Method? So, the Skyscraper Method is basically a way for us to proof and check our blog topics before we write them. So if you imagine this, so we've already written out some of the topics that we want to talk about, we've written out some ideas for blog posts, but the only thing that is guiding us is what we want to write about. We're not really thinking about our audience. So you and me might think it's a great idea to write a post that's the top 7 ways to make chocolate pancakes, but until you actually look online to see if that's a topic people are interested in, you don't know if it's going to be a success. So the Skyscraper Method is basically a way for us to find topics that are already out there and then turn those topics into our own posts. So let's use that chocolate pancake as an example. So I'm just going to type in chocolate pancake in the top here, and we're just going to search through some pins. So what we're looking at is, are people interested in a chocolate pancake blog post? I heard a resounding yes screaming from the other room. What was that? Yes? People are interested in chocolate pancakes. So let's have a look through some of these posts. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at these posts and we're going to use them as inspiration for our post titles, and also thinking about what people like. So lots of different ones here. So this is a good one: the best homemade pancakes with a secret recipe. So that looks like a good pin there. So what you're going to do is you're going to click and enlarge these pins, and what we want to try and look for is the repin count. How many times has this been pinned? So it used to be that you could see the repin count underneath your post on Pinterest, but Pinterest now hides this, which makes it a little bit harder. So what we do is we go to the top left hand corner of the pin with the 3 dots there, we tap that, and then we hit this embed button. And what that'll do is it'll take you to a separate tab. Now this doesn't always work, so sometimes you're not going to be able to see, but if you scroll down, the pin size will say small, and then at the very bottom here it shows you this repin count. So this one is 1k plus. So what that means is that this pin, the best homemade pancakes with a secret ingredient, has been pinned at least 1,000 times. So that's good. That means that there's a lot of interest in that particular pin. So the best homemade pancakes. So that could be a really good blog topic. But that wasn't what we searched for. We searched for chocolate pancake. So what you want to do is, to keep track of these boards, we want to have a secret skyscraper board. So a secret board is one that only you can see. So what you do is, we found that pin, we know it's got 1,000 repins, and we know we want to be writing about pancakes. So we can think, okay, let's save that for later. So you hit save, and you put that into your secret board. If you don't have it already, you can hit create board down here, and we're going to call it the Skyscraper secret board. You can call it whatever you like, but this is going to be your home for your ideas. Now, make it secret. You'll only have to create the board once, and down here, before you pin that pin, what you want to do is just edit the description. Keep the main description there because it's handy to see that, but just at the top, just write how many pins it had. So that had 1k repins. Now the reason we want to do this is sometimes later on when you go onto this pin, you'll do that embed trick again, and it won't tell you how many pins you've had. So it's important to make a note of that so you know. So the best homemade pancakes might be a good idea for a blog post because it's already been proved to have been pinned a few times. Now you can go, if you want to do even more research, you can go one step ahead and you can look at who's actually pinned that post. So this Lauren person, she's got 7 million views, midgetmama.com, and her Pinterest is mainly about homemade recipes, DIY projects, crafts and cleaning. So she's probably got a lot of pins that are about recipes. Now, so we could actually go into one of her boards and do a bit of research. So let's have a look. All my goodies, recipes. So these are all of her recipes. The best of the best from Midget Mama. So let's have a look. Keto shopping list for Target. Now, if you're going to be writing anything food related, if you didn't know already, keto, the ketogenic diets, are a huge topic right now. People are going crazy for these things. So that keto target one there, that's only got 29 repins. So it looks like a new pin because it's just at the top there. So let's just scroll right down and have a look at some of her other ones. So best homemade pancake recipe, we just pinned that one, so we know that one has over 1,000. But look, so this is a different pin here that we've gone into. Now on Pinterest, this might sound a little bit confusing, but there are different types of pins. So can you see this at the top here? This is your pin URL. So this pin is actually different to the pin that we pinned a second ago. So let me just show you that to explain. So let's just go onto here, onto the secret boards. So basically in Pinterest, if you imagine a pin comes from your website, so you go onto our website, you hit the pin it button, and you pin from there to your Pinterest profile. And you might then go from that to other pins, other boards that it's going to get pinned onto. But what can also happen is that somebody else can pin your picture from your website. So there's two different versions of the same image in Pinterest. This can sound confusing, so let me show you. So this first pin here, pin ID 6354, that was pinned onto one person's profile. Now this other pin, 6354298, is it the same pin? Let's just check. So no, so this one ends in 631, this one ends in 646. So these are two separate pins of the same thing that have been pinned to separate websites. But this one got 22,000 repins and this one got 1,000 repins. So what probably happened is this pin here on the left, the one with the more repins, was probably direct from the Midget Mama profile and she probably sent it out to a lot of group boards. Then this was probably somebody who found that pin, pinned it to their own board, and then that was then repinned another 1,000 times from that board. So this is probably the original pin on the left, and that's the repeated pin. But what it does tell you that this post for the best homemade pancakes with a secret ingredient did very, very well on Pinterest. So if we just, so we've got those two there. I'm just going to edit this one to say that was 22k repins. So why does this matter? So let's say you've gone out and you've looked at a couple of ideas, and what you want to do for this skyscraper method is just spend probably 40 minutes to an hour typing in your pin topics. So these are the ones that your boards have saved, finding pins within those niches that have done well that you might want to write a blog post around. Now you can do this two ways. You can either think, okay, I want to write a blog post about chocolate pancakes and search like I did, or you can do it the other way around and you can search like we did on this lady's profile. Okay, I want to write about recipes, what recipes are performing very well. And you can go into, their boards and you can say, oh, look, there's a chocolate caramel turtle cake there, a recipe for that. That got a load of pins. Let's just check how many pins that one had. I want to write a blog post around that. So there's two ways you can do it. See, that one only got 14 pins, so that probably isn't a great one to do. But it's chocolate caramel turtle cake. So she's got 2 pins here for the same topic. 3 pins, actually. I wonder if one of these other pins did better than the other one. Let's check. Come on, Pinterest, don't fail me now. So that only got 7 pins. That one got 8 pins. So that topic about what was it about? The caramel chocolate turtle cake didn't seem to do as well as the pancake one. So if you were just coming on here and you're like, okay, I just want to write a recipes post, a good idea might be to write a blog post about the best homemade pancakes with a secret ingredient, but you might just want to restructure it. So what do I mean by that? So what we don't want you to do is to look at this and go, okay, I'm going to make exactly the same pin with exactly the same title, and when you click it and go onto the blog post, you're going to copy the blog post. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to look at this and say, okay, so this is a good idea. I'm going to make a pin that's maybe similar to this, but around the same topic. So your pin title might be how to make homemade pancakes with that one special ingredient. You might put the 7 best homemade pancake recipes, including a secret ingredient. You want to write something that's similar but different. And here's the other thing you want to do. So you've seen that that pin has done very well in Pinterest. That means a lot of people have clicked it. We then want to look at the blog post that that person's written, and we want to do something different. So with this method, sometimes people aren't always comfortable with doing it. They would rather say, you know what, Jamie, I don't want to try and emulate anybody. I don't want to rewrite other people's content. I just want to do my blog posts. And that's fine. But this skyscraper method right now is the key and the secret to writing a lot of very well done posts. So if we look through here, so there's a bit of a small intro, which isn't that brilliant. She looks like she's done her own pictures here for the pancakes, which is good. But the blog post itself is really short. Let's have a look. So she's done this part here. So a couple of sentences, bigger paragraph, couple of sentences. It's a short post. It's not a lot in it. I'm just going to open up Hemingway now and see how many words she wrote. Now for blog posts, it's hard when you're writing something like a recipe, because recipe posts aren't that long. But look, her blog post is only 376 words. That's not very long at all. That's not giving people much information. So what we do with the skyscraper method is we analyze their pin, we analyze their blog post, and then we write our own version that's better. So how could we improve on this post? So one thing you could do is you could add a video. So you could create a video you making pancakes. Another thing you could do is write a longer post. So most posts I suggest to be at least 1,000 words to 2,000 words. Now if you look at Google, so if you want to rank well in Google, which long term is a good technique to have, so let's say for example you wanted to do a pancake recipe and you wanted to rank for it, the first page results of Google on average have 1,890 words. So what it's saying is if you rank first in Google, chances are if you're on the first page you've got at least 2,000 words in your blog post. So why does that matter? Well, what that means is that if you're writing a blog post that's 2,000 words, it's going to be more useful for your audience and Google's going to reward you for it. So that's one of the first things I would do. So we'd rewrite this post, come up with our own title, but that centered around the pin that did very well. And we're going to create a post that has more content. So you're going to try and write at least 1,000, maybe 2,000 words if you can. Now that might be hard to talk about with a pancake recipe, but what's some of the things that you could talk about? So you could talk about the history of the pancakes. You could talk about what ingredients go into it. You could do a guide on where to get the best ingredients. You could do different finishes that you could include to make the pancake better. You could do different toppings. So there's lots of things that you could write about pancakes. Now, if you're stuck for ideas, just do a Google search and look for some blog posts. So pancake, so maybe put in something like 7 best ways to cook pancakes, and just find some blog posts and take some inspiration from there. So we like this pin because it did very well, but we want the post to be longer. So 7 tips I learned from making over 286 batches of pancakes. So, you know, you could look at a different post and you could take some inspiration from it. You know? So that's one of the first things that we noticed about this blog post. What else do we know about it? So the pictures are good. They look like they've been taken themselves, but maybe there could be more variety, you know? Those pictures kind of all look the same. So you could do that. Here's another thing about this blog post. There's no headings. So if you're skimming through your post, there's no headings about what it is. So that, and there's a lot of ads, so it's really annoying to read. So you could improve and make your own blog post about this that would be a lot better, and you could then create a pin, and we know that this is a topic that's going to do well in Pinterest. And then there's a little recipe down the bottom. So that's what you would do. So this skyscraper method basically is a way for you to do research before you write your blog post about what is going to do well. So the task for today is really actually, instead of doing this whole analysis process where you look at the pin and then you check out the blog post and then you see where you can improve it, is actually just to do the first step, which was to find pins that are doing well within your niche. So what else have we got? So for me, I've got, for somebody else, let's say they're doing home decor. You could do home decor ideas. So you want to get 40 to 80 pins today saved in your secret board, which are doing well and they're inspiration for you for your blog. So the top 10 best small space hacks. Sounds like a good topic. Now that's actually a sponsored post because it says promoted by Lonely Magazine. So don't do sponsored posts. Get a free Mrs. A gift sign up. So DIY dog food storage station. So none of these I don't think are going to be blog posts actually. I could have done a better name. Home decor idea articles. So this is 36 cheap IKEA hacks you'll regret missing. So this is obviously a blog post. So let's have a look. Embed. If you're doing home decor, is that a good topic to write about? 76 pins. So that's not done great. $12 store decor hacks that'll make your home look amazing. Embed. Didn't come up. So this technique is very much about trial and error. What else have we got? 20 Star Wars home decor ideas. Gotta be a lot of Star Wars nerds out there. That one didn't come up either. So sometimes you'll find that this embed technique doesn't always work. This is why this technique can be frustrating, takes a bit of time, but it's going to help you in the long run. 150 cheap and easy farmhouse home decor ideas. I bet that's a good blog post. So sometimes what you can do as well is you can actually go to the website and they'll have a sharing button which will tell you how many times it's been shared as well. So there's other ways you can do it. But let's say it was going to be this article that you redid. You could probably put more information. I bet this is just going to be a lot of pictures and then one word after it. It is, look, rustic bath caddy. So you could probably improve this article by doing better quality pictures and more of an explanation underneath of it, you know? So that's the challenge for today, guys. So go through your different searches based around your blog niche. Try and find pins that do very well. You can also look on boards here to see other ideas for people and to pin and to do research and find the pins that are performing well. That one didn't do so great. So let me know how you get on, guys. Do some research with this. Comment in today's page in the Facebook group what some of your search terms are, some of the pins that you found that are popular. Feel free to put images of those pins in the comments as well to show and inspire other people about what you've done. And come up with, try and get at least 20, but if you can get 40 to 80 pins that have done well on Pinterest, high amount of repins around your topic ideas, then that's going to set you up nicely. And that's how we're going to use the Skyscraper method to pre-plan out 20 of our next blog post based on what's going to be popular. Alright guys, thanks for listening to this video. I know it's been long. Any questions, just let me know.